Hey, this is John Siskowicz with Farm Marketing Solutions, and today I want to talk about the 3 different types of websites you would create for your farm and what each one will do for you. So the first type of website is I call the brochure website, and there's not as much dynamic content to it. It's just as if you had a trifold brochure of your farm, and that'll have your contact information on it, some photos of the farm, details on what you produce, how you produce it, and information on, not only is it a great product, but how do people find you? Where do they get it? What farmers markets you go to. If you have a farm stand, what days the farm stand's open. You want to have as much information up as possible. I mean, you can't have too much information. You can definitely have too little information. If you start to put a lot of information on it, you just got to keep it organized, but that's pretty easy. Just remember with this type of thing, break it up with some pictures. Don't have large bodies of text. You want it to be very readable. Once you've gone through creating the website and the content, walk through it like you were somebody trying to find, how to buy into your CSA or where to find you in a farmer's market. And if you can't find it after all this work, then your customers definitely won't be able to find it. The second type of website is a more dynamic website. I call it a blog website. And this is something where you start out with your base of the first website, the brochure website, and you add some dynamic content to it. You might put a plugin for your Facebook to show up, and you'll have a blog as well where you're giving stories and news and updates from the farm. You have, any manner of things. Keep it specific to your realm of agriculture. If you're going to write about other farmers, I would keep it. If you're a cattle farmer, write about other cattle farmers and how that relates to your farm. Or, people like to see that behind the scenes kind of stuff. So if you share pictures and stories and videos from your farm, they're going to really relate to that, become connected to your farm. And with all 3 of these different categories of websites, it's all about marketing and increasing sales. So that dynamic site is the next step up from a static site where, you're engaging with your customers more. The third one is an e-commerce site. And if you start an e-commerce site, it becomes much more involved. And that's, what I mean by e-commerce is that you're going to sell something off your website. And that's like having a farm stand. Now, if you started a farm stand, you have to get a building, fill it with product, and market it to get people there. It's not you're just going to put it up and they'll show up. The same thing is with an e-commerce site. If you want to have that as part of your business, I suggest doing a lot of research on, other farms that sell stuff online, how they process orders, and you have to do some marketing to get people to go to your website. There's so much information out there on the web that it's going to be tougher for people to find you without doing some of that preliminary work. So those are the kind of three sites that you could plan for your farm. And the reason why I bring it all up is that if you're thinking about starting a farm website, or if you have one right now, think about what category that falls into and what your objectives are. What do you want to get out of your farm website? All in all, the whole point of it is to share your story and increase sales. You want to connect with your customers, and you want some way for them to find you, because pretty much everybody's on the internet nowadays, whether it's by computer or by their handheld device, phone. And you want to reach out to those customers. You want the people in your area to, Google chicken CSA and come up with Food Cyclist Farm, because I put up a lot of content about chicken CSA. And now that Google has caught on to that, I'm finding more and more local searches are finding me as a farm in the area. Part of the reason why I'm shooting this video outdoors instead of like doing a screen grab on my computer is that farm website planning starts offline. You sit down with a notebook and a piece of paper and write out what you want to accomplish, how you're going to accomplish it, and even draw out the pages, what they're going to look like. You could just write a box that says picture in it. You don't have to choose what picture it is, but write out what pages you're going to have and what information is going to be on them. So when you sit down at the computer, especially if you're not comfortable with it yet, and you might not be if you haven't started a website already, you're not starting with a blank canvas, and you're not, deer in headlights and just lost. You know that these are the pages I have to create. This is the page creator that I'm going to use to create it, and you have that information laid out in front of you. And on the Farm Marketing Solutions website, I created a whole tutorial on how to make a website for your farm without writing any fancy code or doing any serious plugins or any of that scripting craziness. It's all drag and drop. Really, anyone can do it, and it's so easy that I created a video how to create a website, a farm website, in 4 minutes. I create a farm website with 4 pages on it, with a contact page, a picture on every single page, and a header that's on most of the pages. And it starts to have my farm information up there, and you can see how I just drag and drop without writing any code that you would be unfamiliar with on that tutorial. It's pretty cool. And it all comes back to that Farm Marketing Solutions page where I walk you through step by step how to create a farm website. And that's farmmarketingsolutions.com/farm-website. And the link will be below this video as well. So I hope that gives you some insight onto 3 of the types of farm websites that you can have. The big thing is plan ahead, figure out what you want to get out of your farm website, and plan for that. So visit me at farmmarketingsolutions.com for other helpful tips, tricks, information, all about the business of farming. Thanks.